Hello and welcome to another episode at Your Reinvent. Today my guest is Ms Alka Saxena, a creative motivational trainer. As an alumnus of Delhi College of Art, she has been using art therapy to inspire and motivate people of all age groups for the last 30 years. She is a trained educator of the International Baccalaureate Board, and in the past she has headed the arts department of various prestigious schools such as Lancers International, Delhi Public Schools, Springdales Schools, and many, many more. Her interest in art and art therapy, to be precise, had her gravitate towards using art to motivate students all across the age group. In fact, she claims that this therapy can be used by adults and people of any age group to achieve what they want. Today, we will be exploring one method of art therapy, which is the vision board. Alka claims that this is an almost magical way of not just identifying your goals, but also achieving it. So please join me in welcoming Ms Alka Saxena. Hello and welcome, Ms Alka Saxena, and thank you for taking out the time to be here with us and share. I was just telling my viewers how you've used art therapy to inspire and motivate students all across, and in fact, I believe you've also used this therapy for healing people. So before we get into the how of it, why don't you tell us about some of your work, how you've helped other people?
Thank you, Shikha. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure. And if I talk about my work, basically I'm an artist.
I see.
And I'm an artist and I'm an educator. So while I was teaching art, I was experimenting with art. I found that especially the kids, the children, in fact, all age groups, they get affected with art. When they do art, when they make art, it's a very, very soothing and de-stressing process. So then I started recognizing also that it can heal. Art actually can heal people with their emotions and feelings, and even those dark areas of your mind and heart. It comes out and it is expressed through art and different techniques.
I see.
Okay. So then I started working on it. And then I read about art therapy. So let me tell you a little bit about art therapy and how I work with it.
I mean, we all know about art and painting, and we've all had this subject in school. But before I spoke to you, I didn't know that. That a painter uses art as a therapeutic, device, literally. But I didn't know that it is a mechanism one can use it to, like you said, to heal. So please go ahead and share something about it.
So earlier, this art therapy was getting used by the psychiatrists and the psychologists to identify the problem in a kid or probably even an adult. Then it was used for, I have personally also started using it on patients. Now they need a healing process.
Right.
Even for kids, the ones who are coming from, let's say they're not at peace with themselves. They have not recognized themselves. Probably they have something in them, some quality or a talent, and nobody knows about it. Probably not even the parents.
Correct.
At times, not even the parents. So they need to be told.
Right.
So this was, yes. So I started recognizing those talents in them, and if there was a problem, even that kids, it is so surprising. People still do not know that through art we can identify the problem area in a person's mind.
Okay.
So I started recognizing that, and at times with the kids, the ones who were coming, let's say from a disturbed background or separated parents, and you could, the teacher could identify through the work And through art, I could identify. So I used to convey that to the school counselor,
Right.
and and to the parents, so that it could be healed,
Right.
and the child can recover and go further.
Correct. Correct.
And so this is how I was working. So I've worked with patients, I've worked with small kids, I've worked with adults. So art therapy is a de-stressing mode. It's a de-stressing technique which you can use on anyone, for that matter.
Right. It's somewhere, in this conversation, and even when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that art therapy can heal and also kind of bring out, emotions or challenges, which, because a lot of times we are not so vocal about what we are feeling. We subconsciously continue to react on our emotions and, our deepest challenges. So, and you mentioned that, through this one can actually identify, some of the goals and dreams that one has. So, but before we go there, before we go into, how to do it and what all we can do, I wanted to kind of ask you one question that, a lot of times, like I just mentioned, that, we are not aware. And like we are not aware of our challenges, we are also not aware of our, our goals and our desires. What would you say? Like, how do we navigate that?
So first of all, the kids, the children and school students especially, art is really useful because you can identify what they want to become, what they are aspiring for, what they are dreaming about, what are they passionate about.
Okay.
And this could be done through very simple procedure, like through pictures and some words and quotes. All these come together, and we have this technique called a vision board, which we'll be talking about.
Which is what we talk about. Yes.
And there's one more thing which is there, goal setting. So goal setting also is helped a lot through this art modality called vision boards. So we'll be talking about this.
Yes.
Right. What I would say is setting goals. There's, if I must tell you about the theory of multiple intelligence, because this needs to be mentioned right here before we talk about anything else.
I see. Okay.
This is about recognizing. This is about recognizing what all talents you have, what all set of skills you have. So each person has some set of skills. It's not that a person can do just one job. If a tailor, let's say a mechanic, it's not that the tailor knows only how to stitch.
Correct.
Probably he can be good at cooking. He could be a good speaker. Correct. He could drive very well. He could be an artist also. So there is a theory of multiple intelligence, which Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence. Yes. And there are 9 kind of intelligence which are there. So a person can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of intelligence in him or her. So this is so useful that the educators today should know about this. They should be aware.
Correct.
Only then we'll be able to recognize it in a child.
I know.
And then set goals for him or her. Help him set goals. Right? So it's like that. So these 9 kind of multiple intelligence are linguistic, logical, visual, spatial, musical, bodily, kinesthetics, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic, and existential.
Correct.
Now, these look very complicated. I mean, they sound very complicated, but they are absolutely not complicated. If somebody has a talent of music and the child could go on and become a singer or a music composer. If somebody is good at logical thinking, so the person can become a mathematician.
Correct.
Or a business analyst.
Correct.
So these are all related to the professions.
Right.
And we already have.
Correct.
It has always existed.
Right.
It is just that sometime back it was recognized also. So an educator, teacher can do this. She can or he can actually recognize these talents, these skills, and intelligence in a person, and take it forward to the school authority or to the counselor, to the teacher, other teachers, and even to the parents.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned, because it reminds me of some of my work when I started off as an academic editor. And that was the first time when I got introduced to this concept, because as a teacher or as somebody who's, creating educational material, you always feel that, okay, this is the concept A, B, C, D, whatever. And there can be just one method of teaching it. Whereas when we recognize that, each child learns differently, so it became a challenge for us to kind of then bring out that material differently, because otherwise you will not be able to address each child in the class. That can help educators to identify what is strong in a certain child, and then kind of, help him or her learn and set their goals better accordingly. Very valid point. So,
yes.
And this is how you would say, for example, if let's say one child is good at music, but it also good at logic or mathematical skills, let's say. So now where do I go? That's like the most. Yes.
To start with, at least the child has an option to choose the careers, and then also that what is he or her, what is she passionate about. Probably he's more passionate about music.
Correct.
Right? Or she's good at numbers.
Right.
So she could go for numerology and become a numerologist.
Yes.
Right? So at least you have the option of
options.
You might not be able to combine them. So when we have different kinds of skills in us, it makes us versatile, for one thing. To start with, a person is versatile. The person is multi-talented. Right. And he has more options to adopt a career, and then mix and match what his set of skills, what all set of skills can be matched together.
Right.
So that is for him or her to decide. In future, the child has a lot of time to think about this. But when we talk about the youngsters, when we talk about teenagers, and even the college going students, the ones who, the students from grade 12, they definitely, by that age, they are able to recognize naturally. It's a natural thing. You do recognize what you're passionate about. And are you able to combine the set of skills or not? Right? So you could have plan A, plan B, and plan C. This is what I tell my students all the time.
Right.
You must have a plan A plan B, and a plan C. So that if plan A does not work out, plan B is a backup for you. If plan B does not work out, plan C is a backup for you.
Right.
Perhaps plan A and plan B were just part of the picture. They were just a route you were taking to accomplish plan B, plan C, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's just a route you're taking to reach there, a particular destination.
Correct.
So this really,
I think I'm reminded of this, one of my ex-directors, he used to always say that make a plan, work towards the plan, and if the plan doesn't work, change the plan. Because what is important is for you to be in this journey to get to a point. So if that certain method is not working, you always kind of, try a different route and see what is working for you. And like you said, A, B, C. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is that A, B, C are not like, it's not like or A is a better plan than C. It's just different. And C could actually be the best life that you will ever live, but, going via A or B, correct?
Exactly. It is, there's no problem. I don't think so. I think it's a very good thing if you are flexible in your life, because then you enjoy it more.
Enjoy so
you
many
do things which you like and you earn.
Yes, yes.
You earn at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was an artist, then I was working for All India Radio. I was a good speaker. I was writing scripts. So my skills were supporting me to earn as well as enjoy
Right.
passions of my life.
Correct.
So this is how I support my example, that I'm enjoying teaching you because I love teaching also. And since I'm an artist, I love doing art, and I'm doing art through you all. So my students really, they got inspired by this.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. So, let's get straight to now how to do the vision board. And while you're explaining that, keep sharing how it will help us achieve what we want in life. We've already talked about how to set those goals, and now we get to the how part of it.
All right. So what you see, it can be done as a hard copy with material pasted on chart paper, or it could be done digitally as well. So the ones, especially for the adults, the ones who are a little hesitant about gathering up all the materials, Fevicol, scissor, so it can be done digitally as well. And then a printout could be taken out and then pasted. It could be put somewhere where you can see. But it is more fun to do things like, the way you used to do when you were in kindergarten or you were in grade 1 or 2.
Right.
Because, and it can also be done by, so that's the reason that it can be done by the students as well as teenagers and even the adults. Whenever you find that you have to set your goals. So what do you do first of all? You think about the goal, short-term goal or a long-term goal. It could be a short-term, probably you're thinking about getting slim. About for a lady, of pictures and words. Basically, it's a collage of pictures and words. So the material which you need is a poster board or a cardboard. Or you could take a cartridge sheet or an ivory sheet, or even simply chart paper.
Chart paper would do.
Yes. Then you need some newspapers and newspaper magazines, or the magazines which you probably which you prefer to read. For example, fashion magazine. If you are more indicated towards fashion, especially teenage girls. Why not? And and they could grab hold of the old fashion magazines, or somebody is interested in sports, or some film or movie or theater magazine. So just gather up all the pictures. Even if you take newspapers, just spread them out in front of you. It is fine, because you will be able to take out a lot of material from there.
So when you say newspaper, what am I looking at? Am I looking at, like, for example, Virat Kohli hit 100 in,
exactly
5 matches or something. So you replace Virat Kohli by your name, right?
If you are interested in, if some child is interested in sports, he will automatically he will tear out the pictures of his idols,
right,
whosoever he looks upon.
Yes, yeah.
Right. The sports, or the cricket stars, or the football stars, right? And then even the words, even those words, the child or that person, the one who's making this artwork, the vision board, you will automatically get attracted with those words.
Correct.
Which are related to your goals. So now we are talking about this, that newspapers, we need newspapers, magazines, other images, the printouts probably, and then you need scissors, Fevicol, sketch pen, markers. Even scissors is optional. I must say, scissors is optional. You can just tear out and keep putting the pictures aside. the ones which appeal to you, those pictures and those words and those quotes and those sentences which talk to you to it, right? And then you spread out these things, and after you've torn out all the pictures which appeal to you and the ones which are related to your goal, related or correlated, right? So then you spread them out in a balanced way on a piece of paper, that chart paper or a cardboard piece. Just spread them out, and then after you feel that this your art piece is visually balanced, then you start
ticking them
with Revit.
I see.
So this is what you do. Then you also take out the quotes, you know, something which is related to your life motto, or something which you think is similar to what you think, your ideology of life.
Ideology. Okay.
Even a child could have that. Even a student of class 3rd or 4th or 5th standard would be able to relate to his passion or her passion or her interest.
Right.
So after you prepare and stuff, after you have prepared and stuck everything, then this becomes your vision board, your what you want to do in future. And you can put it up somewhere. You can put your vision board somewhere where you can see it every day. Because as you see it, this is related to, interestingly, this is related to law of attraction. You manifest things which you see every day because you're working, because subconsciously your mind is working towards it also.
Right.
It's not that only the universe is working for you.
Yeah.
But you yourself, your own mind is working towards that goal.
And I guess for children, because you see it, or even, for adults, if you see it, you kind of, your thoughts would probably go in that direction, that what do I do to get here,
Exactly. This is what happens. This is what actually happens.
That's your thought beautiful, because it probably triggers you to think in that direction, which otherwise was so random and scattered, right?
And at times you surprise yourself. You would take out those pictures, you will select the pictures and those words. Now, which probably you have not thought about, but they are right there because subconsciously your mind has chosen.
Wanted to be like that.
These things. Yeah. So you come to know about your hidden aspirations, your dreams, and your hidden desires also. This works wonders, for students definitely, but even for adults, even for housewives, even for professionals.
Right.
And I've seen it work on patients. What they want to do now after they are healed, after they have recovered from their after the treatment. So they need a way, they need a vision. What would they want to do in life? Right. Because at times I've seen if you're going through a disease process, at times your vision changes about life. Correct. Your perception also changes about life.
Right.
So it helps in your perception and what you want to plan for the future.
Great. Wonderful. Like I was saying, it's so fascinating to hear that, once you put a system, a process, you become intentional about what you want to achieve, then it's no longer random. It's not like, just floating in your head that, oh, one day I wanted to do this, one day I wanted to do that. No, you just put it on paper and work towards it. And, one of those things, whatever is best for you, I think that probably is also one of your takeaway messages, that plan A, plan B, C, whichever works will be best for you. But you have to be open, flexible, and adaptable to try them out, not just, of course, there are students and people who have that one goal, which is great, sometimes it works, but you have to be open to the fact that sometimes it may not. And that's okay.
It might work in a different way.
Exactly.
The same goal can work in 3 different or 4 different ways.
Right.
So you need the vision. So how would you develop that vision? You will develop the vision only if you start thinking about this.
Yeah.
How different ways? If I cannot do it this way, perhaps that college is too expensive, and probably I might not be able to. It will be difficult, or probably it's difficult to get through in the college.
Correct.
At times, there are situations for especially the students who are going to college. Yeah. So this plan A, B really works well,
yes.
and vision towards it works well.
You're right. I mean, I also feel it's a way of, some people think of it as defeatist, that, oh, plan A nahi hua, to chalo B kar lenge. But I feel it's about growing. If you're growing, you will kind of figure out other ways to do what your heart truly desires. And getting stuck in one, I mean, I always have, this is my favorite quote, that if you don't like where you are, move, you're not a tree, so you find out another way to do something, so, but as long as you're clear about what you want to do, and that's where this vision board helps to kind of, align your thoughts to it. Great. So before we wrap up, what are your closing thoughts? What would you like to tell our viewers, like, one simple message, how to use this method, and what should they do?
All right. So I would say that each moment of your life is like a seed of time. So sow it well in a mindful way, so that you bear the best fruits in your future.
Right.
So you have to mindfully organize your thoughts, because thoughts turn into feelings, and they turn into action, and your actions actually make a life for you.
Right.
So when you are giving heed to your thoughts, especially positive thoughts, whenever negative thoughts come by, just turn them into positive. Because they are like, you are, what you do at there's some words of Oprah Winfrey. I will not be able to say the exact words, but she says that when you're doing your best at this very moment, you are actually creating a good life for you.
Yes, that's true.
A better life for you. The life that you want.
Yeah.
Giving your honest effort at this moment.
Yes.
Is going to make your life.
I'm such a huge fan of Oprah, that, I mean, so often we are so bothered by, if I'm doing this, how will it translate? What will it do for me? Sometimes just leave the, monkey brain aside, and, just do your work.
Yes. Think from your heart. At times, you have to think from your heart also. What does your heart say?
Correct.
Fine, your parents are saying something, or probably this is what you should be doing. But this is what you want to do.
Right.
To do that. और फिर जहाँ चाह है वहाँ राह है, राह मिलेगी.
Correct.
कुछ ना कुछ मिलेगा, कुछ ना कुछ जुटेगा, कोई यूनिवर्स आपके लिए तैयारी करके रखेगा और आपको प्रेजेंट करेगा वो जो आप दिल से चाहते हैं.
Right.
This is what I believe.
Like Coelho says, is if you truly want something, the universe conspires. So, thank you so much. This was truly a delight. And, honestly speaking, I'm going to use this myself. I have used the law of attraction previously in my life to literally manifest a lot of things that I wanted. But I've never used a vision board, but I'm truly fascinated. And we will certainly, benefit from this method.